Namaste everyone, I am Rameshi. Welcome to my channel Ashwin's Astrology. So moving ahead with the Simha Rashi to Vrischika Rashi predictions for the Mars transit to Karkataka Rashi. So coming first to Simha Rashi. So for Simha Rashi natives, Mars becomes the 4th lord as well as the 9th lord. So he is the Yoga Karaka. So owning a Kendra and Trikona makes Mars, Mangal a Yoga Karaka, and for Simha Rashi, the Karkataka Rashi happens to be the 12th house. So the Mangal, the Yoga Karaka, is debilitated in the 12th house. So having a debilitated planet in the 12th house is generally good, but in this case, because your 12th lord is exalted in the 10th house and also your Yoga Karaka going to the 12th house, so we can say that you might have to travel overseas from your work commitments. So if you have a promise in your individual horoscope that you have a chance of going overseas, and if the current dasha, antar dasha is also indicating it, so now this time period could be the one you might travel overseas over the for over a period of 3-4 months also, and this could be a short assignment, so you might have a long travel. So during this time period, the career would be little bit stable because having a benefic planet in the 10th house and also Venus in the 4th house being Digbal is aspecting it. So even though Venus is not a favorable planet for your Lagna, for your Rashi, but Venus is the natural unconditional benefic like Jupiter. So having two benefics in 4th axis definitely stabilizes your work place as well as your career. So during this time you might see some good news related to your career as well as because your 6th lord Saturn is in the 7th house and also is still in a retrograde position. So this also will favor you from the career point of view. So Mars being in the 12th house aspects your 7th house as well as your 6th house. So you might see some progress in your career, and the ill effects of Shani also would be reduced. So though Mars would be placed in the 12th house, it will be as it is an Yoga Karaka, so it has to play the role of Yoga Karaka. So it will be able to control Shani's any kind of malefic effects. So whatever the kind of strained relations you had with your spouse, with your business partners, or the health of the spouse was concerned, or even your health was a concern, so all these matters would be taken care during this time, and you will be courageous enough to actually deal with it. So if you have any existing illness, please do show to doctor to or take a second opinion as well. So if you have already shown, because Mars in the 12th house also represents that you will have expenditure related to medicines or hospitals. So or it even means confinement, but unless and until it is showing the confinement combination in the individual horoscope, we don't say it can lead to confinement or any punishment also, but generally seeing from the well-being of a native. So 12th house represents hospitals and 6th house is for sickness or health issues. So because Mars is aspecting, so any Simha Rashi natives who have existing illness, they want to get operated or they want to get it done, especially eye related issues also, because Ketu is placed in 2nd house and your Rashadhipati Sun is debilitated in the 3rd house, but is with a benefic like Mercury, because Mercury is placed in a Venus sign, so it naturally becomes a benefic planet. So Sun is not completely malefic, it's a less malefic, so Mercury naturally becomes a benefic in Tula Rashi. So during this time period, if you have any health issues, any kind of health issues, eye, cataract, or even heart related, any kind of health issues, do consult doctor, take second opinion and get it recovered as soon as possible, because your health regular checkup is must and should. Because of Rahu in 8th house, it indicates that sudden changes or sudden collapse also can happen in your health status. So it is always good to have a proper checkup done regularly on a regular basis. So that's something Simha Rashi natives has to take care. So career now for a time being, for next 45-50 days, looks stable, and you, as I mentioned, you might get a overseas trip as well if it is promised in your individual horoscope and Dasha Bhukti if it indicates. From the financial matters, yes, you definitely have problems, and that might increase much more also, because your Simha Rashi now is surrounded by Mars as well as Ketu. Though Mars is a Yoga Karaka for your Rashi, but generally, naturally, it is a malefic planet. So having two malefics like Mars and Ketu and the adjacent sides for Simha Rashi, it can prove to be very worse condition also from your financial matters, because the second house already savings is becoming very low for you, and 12th house expenditure will increase because if you are going to visit a doctor and health obviously, but because your sixth second lord Mercury is in the third house, if you are able to put efforts and somehow manage it, then definitely it is a game changer for you. So it's definitely makeable during this time period if you want to manage your finances. For the next 40-45 days, it would be little bit difficult. But over the time, once Venus moves to 5th house and once Mercury moves to 4th house, you will be supported by your parents or you will be supported by your children. So you will be able to somehow stabilize your income or stabilize your savings as well. So that's one thing very much noted for Simha Rashi natives. So overall saying for Simha Rashi, it's a mixed period. So the actions which you take, that actually favors you. So fortune favors the brave. Next, coming to Kanya Rashi. So for Kanya Rashi natives, what happens is that you already have Rahu Ketu in 1/7 axis, so the trouble of that, and Saturn being in 5th and 6th lord being in 6th house retrogression, that's also one problem, even though it is Shatruhanta. And Mars becomes your 3rd lord as well as the 8th lord, so he is the potent malefic for Kanya Rashi and he is turning debilitated in the 11th house, so it's a good move. Why? Because malefic Mars being a malefic planet, if it is debilitated in the 11th house, so 11th house is a Icha Purtistan and also house of professional income. So if you had any desires of getting a much better job than before, because even the 10th lord gets connected here, because the 10th lord Mars or your Rashidipati Mars is placed in 2nd house, and Mars is aspecting that. So during this time period, if you are hunting for a new job, especially from the private sector point of view, then this is the time period you might definitely get a new job. So hop in for that and take ahead. And also during this time period, because of Venus in the 3rd house, who happens to be a better placed for you from a financial point of view, because second lord in second from second, so it is generally a good combination. So you'll be able to save some amount of money through your self efforts, because though 12th lord sun is placed in the 2nd house along with your Rashi Adhipati, so the expenditures whatever pending you will clear out everything and then you will start a new savings. So this is what we can mention. And with Jupiter placed in the 9th house, this is invariably good for any kind of a spiritual sadhana, for pilgrimage and for any kind of new spiritual pursuits as well. So for students of Kanya Rashi, this is very good for education. So Jupiter being in the 9th house is aspecting your Rashi, so you are getting that special divine protection. So it will actually reduce, because now Jupiter is also retrograde, so you will get the much more auspicious results of the 9th house, and also with Moon placed there, who is your 11th lord, so it's like cherry on the cake. So currently from financial point of view, it's really a very good time for Kanya Rashi natives, barring that all the previous pending expenditures which you had. So from the marital relations, yes, there is a problem and there will be a problem for a more long time, because once Rahu moves out of Pisces, also from Meen Rashi, from your 7th house also, Saturn comes there. So a lot of things gonna happen there. So marital relations, your business partners, all these things, or your social life is definitely getting hampered, which you have to pay attention. Mars being the 3rd and 8th lord is also aspecting your this one 5th house, so it even shows that you have some concern for your children also, and there could be some rift between you and your children as well. So that also has to be taken care. And Jupiter is aspecting your 5th house, so there is some amount of relief, but both Jupiter and Mars aspecting the 5th house, so it gives one level up and one level down also. There could be a possibility that your children may go for a overseas education and you may not like it, or there could be some kind of separation from your child, a peaceful separation or a wiseful separation, I can say. So there will be definitely some kind of rift between you and your children, but it could be in a very smooth way because of Jupiter's aspect. So there could be some decision taken or some courageous move may happen from your children point of view, not from you, from your children point of view. So that's also possible for Kanya Rashi natives. And from career point of view, your 10th lord Mercury is in second house, so I don't think you might have any kind of problems, and it's one of the good positions. Though aspected by Mars, Mercury is in a better stable position, and very soon it will join Venus in Scorpio, so it is definitely good. So just for a 10-15 days you might face that heat, but after that it would be really good for Kanya Rashi natives. So from career point of view, from finances point of view, it's definitely good. Only the marital relations, public partners, business partners, or even your social life, this has to be, and also with the family, immediate family, the children and all, you have to take care. So this is for Kanya Rashi. Next, moving ahead to Tula Rashi. So for Tula Rashi natives, Mars happens to be your second lord as well as a seventh lord. So he is the potent Maraka for you and will be getting debilitated in your 10th house. So a planet getting debilitated in 10th house simply brings unwanted issues or unwanted fights and quarrels also. So it may happen that second lord Mars in the 10th house debilitated, and also being very much close to it's not aspected by any planet, that's one thing. And because from Tula Rashi, Venus, the Rashi Adhipati, is placed in 6th, second house, and Rahu is in 6th house, Ketu in 12th house. So financially it is a very good move, but professionally not so good one. And because Jupiter is in 8th house, so benefic in 8th house doesn't serve good, but it is the 6th lord in the 8th house, so it's again a good move. So you may see, you might be drawn towards spirituality, you might be drawn towards occult sciences like astrology, Reiki, healing, all those stuffs. And because of Sun Mercury in the Rashi, you might try to pursue some new form of education as well, because Jupiter in 8th and Mercury in Rashi and Venus in 2nd. So it's a very good combination, because 2-8 axis is controlled by Jupiter Venus, means it's very good for family happiness. And also if a person wants to study something further, that's also it's very much supportive in nature, because the 9th lord is coming to the Rashi Mercury, so your Bhagyadipati is coming to your Rashi, and your 5th lord Saturn is retrograde in 5th house. So obviously he also has to support you, because he becomes the Yoga Karaka, and to study any kind of traditional knowledge like astrology, Veda, Upanishads, everything, you definitely need the support of Shani. So not just Jupiter, Mercury planets are enough, even you need the support of Shani. So that also you will definitely get during this time. And with Sun, who is the 11th lord, coming to your Rashi, even though debilitated, he is a lord of a very good house, like 11th house. So it's usually 11th house is considered as malefic or something, but it's a Icha Purti Sthan Swami who is coming to the first house. So some of your desires may be fulfilled during this time period. And speaking about your children, so next, that is the 5th lord in the 5th house. So there could be some kind of cold war, or some not so good in speaking terms with your children, or even with compared to in the parents also. I can say that with parents, I don't see much problem, unless and until your individual horoscope has some afflictions to 4th or 9th house. But with your children, definitely there is some kind of misunderstanding, or some kind of not so good time in speaking terms. So because of Saturn being retrograde in the 5th house, so as soon as Saturn turns direct and moves to Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra, even that also will resolve. So by the end of November, or by the start of December is something, you will start seeing the improvements in the relation with your children as well. So for Tula Rashi natives, overall career might be little bit ups and downs, but financially it's a very good time. And for the marital relations, as I mentioned, it's also a good time, because considering that your 7th lord, though debilitated in the 10th house, it will be like, because your Venus, your Rashi Adhipati, is well placed, so it definitely serves good. So for Tula Rashi, it's a mixed time period again, and because of course there's no Guru Bal, but it's good for spiritual Tula Rashi people. Next, coming to Vrishchik Rashi. So for Vrishchik Rashi natives, your Rashi Adhipati as well as the 6th lord is getting debilitated in the 9th house. So 6 9 getting connected, it shows that some kind of sickness to very serious sickness to your maternal relatives, or some kind of problems or any legal suit or issues with your in your maternal family, because 6th house usually represents maternal uncle or any siblings of your mother, because it's the third from the fourth. So that's why. And because Mars is your own Rashi Adhipati as well as 6th lord, so going debilitated in the 9th house also shows that fortune may struggle, or you might like fortune may not favor you to that extent as expected. But 9th lord moon is exalted in the 7th house, so your spouse family always come in support of you, so that's a very good point. And also you have Guru Bala also, that is Guru's aspect on your Rashi, and Venus is present in your Rashi. So having Venus Jupiter in 1/7 axis, so you feel you will be protected during this time period, and this is a very good time period to execute any kind of new task also, because having so many benefits in 1/7 axis, so it is really a good time. Mars in 9th house debilitated maximum can give you health related issues or some kind of physical fatigue, or you might have to travel a little bit far to visit any of your relatives who have fallen sick. Or if you are into a profession of medicine or if your profession of service, then this is a very good time period, especially people who are into army, people who are into medicinal field, pharmacy and all. So it's a very good time period with Venus also supporting and moon in the 7th, so it's a wonderful time period. So from the marital relations, it's a wonderful time. With the business point of view, it's a good time. From your career point of view, you might get an chance to travel overseas as well. From finances point of view also, it's a very good point. So from children and especially from the real estate matters, you might have to pay some kind of attention, because Mars is aspecting your 4th house, and also Saturn, whose retrograde, is present there. So Mars is aspecting your 3rd house as well as your 4th house. So your efforts in the real estate matters, buying a new property, buying a new vehicle also, we can include here along with the real estate matters. So it may actually make some time, or whatever it was getting delayed now, it might speed up the process because of Mars aspect, because now very soon Saturn also will turn direct and it will start moving ahead. So till December 7th, I think you might actually get some good progress here, but have to be careful from the documentation part. So overall, to see for Vrischika Rashi, it seems to be a good time period. So they just have to take care of their eating habits. So because the 2nd lord Jupiter is retrograde in the 7th house along with moon, okay, not aspected by any malefics, but Rahu in the 5th house shows some problems in the eating habits. So that's one thing you need to take care. So this was for Vrischika Rashi. So in the next video, I'll tell about Dhanu Rashi to Meena Rashi. So until then, thank you.